Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to this lovely Friday afternoon coming at you from the North Texas V1 HQ. I only can say that a couple more times. We're getting towards the end of that era. It's an end of an era. However, I have a few more things up my sleeve before we wrap it up here in North Texas. I've got this stream. I've had something like this on my mind for quite some time, and then you guys have been hounding me on it, like, oh, you got to do failure stream, you got to do failure stream, more failures, you all love it. And I'm looking at the Airbuses that we have between the couple of sims. To me, the best one to simulate a maximum failure stream, no doubt, is going to be the toliss because of the flight time factor for failure. So I didn't set it before the stream started because I didn't want it to count against us. But we're going to go ahead and turn this on right now. So we are going to max this out. This is the flight time performance factor. I love this feature. I typically keep mine right about in the middle or a little bit lower than the middle when I'm normally operating on the toliss, just to keep you on your toes. But for this flight, save as default. We're maxed out with failures today. So I don't think it can't get any better than this right here. We're gonna see if we can survive this flight up to, I have us flying up to Phoenix, and I was kind of back and forth on the route here. I didn't know which route we should take. I kind of want to do something over water. Then I thought maybe I should do something over terrain, but I didn't want to do something that I was familiar with. So I've flown in at Cabo a couple times. But there's some unique challenges that this particular route provides. Number one, you're going over the Sea of Cortez, loaded with great white sharks, great white shark breeding ground. Don't want to ditch there if you can help it. Out to the east, you're pretty much landlocked. There's high terrain. There's not a lot of diversionary airports. In fact, I'm looking at my real world charts here. I've got this route plugged into my real world iPad as well, because I'm kind of going to go about this like, what would happen like if I was actually flying this? What would we do? It's going to be interesting for my own side of things to kind of look at the thought process and see what can happen. And then, of course, I think it's going to be pretty entertaining for y'all. So I hope you are ready for this one. It should be fun. We're in the toliss 320 Neo, if you haven't noticed already, and it's going to be. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Fly Live wants to be a 738. It does. Not anymore. I'll fix it. Thank you, Chaos. So good to see everybody here. Christy, good to see you, man. Hope you wish you a speedy recovery to you in the hospital there, man. Keith B, Brian S, Paul Shoesmith. Oh, man, there's so many members in the chat. Hey, if you're on Team Green, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you. So you go in plane goes in water, sharks in water. Yeah. Good old, that's from the Jaws movie, man. That's a good movie. Bringing a new meaning to bank angle check. Indeed, man. This is going to be bank angle check for real. So this is the default Cabo Airport. It was pretty darn good. I've been here a couple times, actually, in real life. So, X-Plane default airports are definitely up there. I got the toliss vehicles boarding. This is pretty cool. I didn't realize that was actually part of the new release on the 320 Neo from toliss. So that's kind of a nifty little thing. So we've got that set. Our failures are set. We don't want to spend too much time on the ground here because I don't want it to keep counting against me for failures. I don't know if this stream can be as long as 20 minutes, and it can be up to 2 hours, and maybe we make it all the way to Tucson. Who knows? I haven't even practiced this, so I have no knowledge of what's going to happen. Everything that's going to happen is going to be right here for the first time. So let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous, but I think it's going to be a fun time indeed. How was the hailstorm? Thanks, 320. You know what? It wasn't terrible where I was, and I did get the truck covered in time. So it really started blasting us later in the evening. It kind of stalled out just north of my position, and then throughout the evening hours, late at night, it really came down hard. But everything's good. Everybody survived. It's still rainy and misty today right now where I'm at, but good to go. Tucson is definitely a viable alternate, Mike P. That's the thing. We'll talk about that here on this route. The route it's actually not an awesome route for having a ton of failures in real life because you can kind of pigeonhole yourself. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. Let's go ahead and get the airplane fired up. Hopefully it will get started. I'm going to have to be on my toes and go slow through everything here, through all the procedures, because who knows what could be failing out of the gate. So I'm going to try my best to actually really slow down. And remember, you don't want to see a switch. You need to actually look at it. Or actually, you don't want to just look at an indication. You want to see the indication, see what it's telling you. So sometimes we get in that super fast mode of just scanning our instruments. Oh, yeah, I saw it. I looked at it. But you didn't actually see what it was saying. I looked at the hydraulic page. Yeah, but did you see that your hydraulics were a little bit lower than the last time that you looked at them? So we got to really do our best to interpret the information as best we can. Oh, Cabo, always a fun 2-hour customs line flying in there on Fridays. Oh, yeah, it's funny, not funny, but just a little ironic story about Cabo. When I became a captain, the first flight I ever did as a captain, I actually flew into Cabo San Lucas, so it was pretty cool. It's a nice, I love flying down here. It's a nice approach. You're coming over the water, it's really pretty, but that's pretty rare. Typically we land, well, not typically, but most times that I've been down there, I landed southbound. But if you do get to come in over the water, do like this arcing approach, it's pretty sweet. As a trained NWS storm spotter, I exercise my prerogative to wake up, look at the radar, and go back to sleep. Al W, I was right there with you, man. All right, here we go. Crew supply on, ground control on, CVR test. Let's get our ADIRs aligned. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to turn down the, I don't think we need any integral lighting. Nah, we don't need any integral lighting today. Those are being aligned. We'll go auto, nav position 1, auto, arm U. Everything looks good here. We'll go position normal. And when we do get the air on, we're going to blast the cool air because it is Mexico springtime. It's nice and toasty down here. So let's go ahead and fire test 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and test the APU just in case. Everything looks good there. Normal on the aft cargo. Everything is beautiful. Out and halfway for the PA button there. Looking good on the overhead. I have faith in you, V1. We'll get there. We'll see, man. You have more faith than I do. Let's just go ahead and pull an immediate init request from the McDo. And while that's doing that, it's going to load up our fuel, which I saw. Let's check our systems. Hydraulic looks good. Engine oils look good. Pressurization is in auto. That looks good. Looks like we're in the open circuit configuration for the outside air temp, skin temp. Pretty cool. Invalid flight plan uplink. Uh-oh. Hold on. What did I mess up? AOC. Did I... Well, we got to do it. Maybe we got to do it from here. We got to do it from here. We'll see. Flight plan uplink. Invalid flight plan uplink. Uh-oh. What's an invalid? Hold on. We've got everything. Sim brief ID. Did I not stand by? Stand by. Durban 357, San Jose, Cabo. Why are we getting an invalid? McDo already failed. Need to update that AIRAC later. Yeah, invalid. Well, okay, we have maybe we have some sort of 8 cars failure. I guess we're doing it the old school way. Won't auto load if the AIRAC is run. Oh, that's right, AIRAC. Okay, well, that's a self-induced failure. I guess we're doing it old school today. Glass City Guy, appreciate the support, man. Glad I made it. It should be a fun one. Welcome to the stream, man. Infernity Tech, thank you so much for the continued support. Double engine failure possible? It is possible. Everything is possible. Thank you for the support. V says, in real life, how often do you use differential thrust? On the ground, quite a bit, man. Quite a bit we use differential thrust on the ground. At least I do. For taxiing. Other than that, not much. But for taxiing, you will use it, no doubt. All right, Cabo to Phoenix. I guess we'll load this the old school way. Bourbon 357 is our flight number. Cost index 99. Oh, boy.
Yo, before we take off in this death trap, lol, real life question. My daughter's Southwest flight yesterday was delayed an hour. My new 55-minute flight to fix a bathroom. Why not take off on time and fix overnight? She said passengers were pissed.
Callie, Simmer, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. You got a good question there. Why would they 55? It would probably be something to do with the regulations there at, you said she was on Southwest. They might have something in the books where it says flights under this amount of time, you can dispatch with X amount of bathrooms. Flights over this amount of time, you have to have X amount of bathrooms. So there could have been something in their procedures. Obviously, I don't fly the Airbus for Southwest Airlines, so I don't know the depth of their procedures, but that would be my first inclination would be there's something in there with the flight time, duration, with the requirement of bathrooms. Because you can't just fly, a 6-hour transcon with no bathrooms on the airlines here in the States. You can't do that. There's actually, FAA has limitations on that. Right about an hour that's getting up there. I think maybe less than an hour. So that's close. Maybe, and then of course it's always at the captain's discretion there towards the end, right? I've had it where I can't recall what our limit is, but there was one where we were going to be down to one bathroom and we were right at the limit. And I said, look, man, we're completely full. There's a ton of kids on this flight. Can we just fix this here on the ground? So I would say that something along those situations happen. But I appreciate the support, Callie Simmer. Thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Fireflyer, thank you for the continued 4 months of support. Worked for a 135 that had failures set to 100%. That's what we're at right now. I feel like I need to hurry up and get this airplane going, because the longer we sit here on the ground, I think the longer the flight time performance factor is going to start counting against us. So I really want to get it up and going. Our cruise flight level, I don't even know what we filed. Let me see here. I gotta view the PDF of this thing. I never downloaded it. We already had a data link failure because we're out of our database. Okay, what do we have here? We filed at 380. 380, we'll put that in there. What were the winds coming out of Cabo today? Let's see. I see there's an American down there on the ramp next to me. Los Cabos sky winds are 315 at 12, so we'll blast off to the north. So we'll go ahead and do flight plan departure 34, and that's going to be the Bravo, the Anego 1 Bravo, I believe, is northbound. We'll insert that. And then from there, we are going to join, I think there's a couple. Oh, try to the ignore type mismatch. I thought that on. Oh, ignore. Oh, there we go. On, save. You know what? Let me try that real quick. Oh, but we're already past the init. Let me just see. I thought I had that setting saved. I must not have saved it. Oh, there we go. Look. Hey, who was that? Who was that in chat? Whoever said that, thanks. Appreciate it. That'll save us some time indeed. We'll still get our departure in there. 3-4, Aneg 1 Bravo. Insert that. And then, look, no discos. Phoenix, I doubt we're going to get there. We're going to try our best. I don't know what they're landing. We'll plan for 7 right. We're coming down the ping. Ping 1, love their golf. Ping drivers via the hot transition. Triple T, insert that. Done deal. Secondary. Let's go ahead and take our time and put in a proper secondary, shall we? Because who knows what is going to happen. So Mike Sierra Delta. And if you always wonder why I do secondaries, this is the proper way to do it. So we got to hit secondary 3 times. First, to initialize it. The second time we go to secondary, we select our arrival. We come back around. If we have to do an emergency comeback, the best approach option I see looks like it's going to be the RNAV 3-4 straight in, no star. And we'll do no via because we just want the straight in approach on the secondary. So that's done. Then we're going to go secondary one last time, and we have to set the perf for the approach, but remember, we only want the approach phase, so you have to scroll back to the approach portion of the McDo. Let's go ahead and get our METAR for this information here. Receive messages, METAR. Oh, nope, return, that's Phoenix. Mike's here, Delta is what I want, we'll print it. So winds are 330 at 12 knots, according to this METAR. I love how snappy the McDo is. I got to say, the McDo snappiness and the button sounds are really good. Do you guys remember the very first time I did a toliss 319 review video, and I said and we clicked on the MCDU sounds, and they were just so not cool. But the sounds are I really like the McDo clicky sounds. It's really tactile. Sounds good. QNH 3013. We'll set that here as well. Shannon Newbold, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me get to that here as I get my charts for the return. Thank you for the support, Shannon. Appreciate it. Thanks for the great toilet story the other day. Do stories like that make you want to fly cargo again? Cargo doesn't plug toilets. Shannon, I appreciate that $5 super chat. Very kind of you. You know what? No, it doesn't make me want to go back to cargo. I did my time in the cargo world. It's a different breed of pilots out there for sure, and it's just not for me. You know, I like the passenger interaction. As annoying as passengers can be, and I know that might sound weird, but you know, you live in the airport environment, you live in the airline environment. Passengers can become just noise, and they can become an annoyance. Really, you know, after a long trip, it's just the reality of it. However, at the end of the day, I still love my job. I love seeing kids that want to come up and see the airplane, and not even just kids. I see adults and grown-ups that are like, "Oh, can I take a picture and come up?" I love that interaction. I love being part of that, and I love sharing my passion with passengers. So for me, passengers is where it's at. But I got a lot of close friends that do cargo, and they love it just as much. And they said, man, I would never want to go fly for the airline. So it just is just a different preference. That's all it is. All right, 820 is our barrel ref plus 50. So we're going to put 870 here in the barrel. That's done. RadNav. I don't think we're going to put anything in the RadNav page. Progress, we will put in Mike Sierra Delta here. Perf page. Init B, we need to get that. It's already loaded up there perfectly. We got 6 minutes of extra gas, so typical dispatch flight today. We've got low gas and high failures. Perfect. It's very realistic. Okay, so that is pretty much ready to go. I'm going to put this page on the flight plan page, and I'm going to kind of set it up kind of like the FO would do it, just in case we have some type of McDo failure. We need to have our redundancies, right? So flight plan page there, that looks good. Let's get the APU fired up, if it will start, please. We got our fuel on board, so we'll do this. Seatbelt sign on, and double check the fuel. It is balanced. It is. We got to not go through the motions, right? We're going to actually do it. Go ahead and hit that. Let's fire it up. We're not going to have our fly-by-wire APU sounds, but we'll have some sounds here. And oh my goodness, just getting 2 massive donos coming in here from Team Vodka. My man, Team Vodka, gifting 20 subs. I swear, there's going to be no non-members that watch V1. I mean, you guys are unbelievable. Team Vodka, thank you so much, man, for the 20 gifted subs, and right there with it, almost in the identical time. I mean, you guys couldn't time that any more perfect. Iron Man dropping 20 gifted subs as well. That is really awesome. Thank you for the support, both you gentlemen. Appreciate the support. I look forward to chatting with you guys more as well in the Discord there. Sorry I had to dip out early. I was getting the stream set up, but thank you guys for the support. Appreciate you. You're absolutely fantastic. V1 green like Frontier. We might just have to call this the greenest channel on YouTube. This might be the greenest Airbus channel on YouTube. But honestly, you guys are amazing with the support. Appreciate it all. And if you are a new member and you're wondering what that does and what you get access to, if you just hit !welcome, Nightbot will give you a little information on your new perks here at the channel. And we do the members only stream last night. I do the members only podcast, which is exclusive, where only members can listen to the podcast stuff and shorts videos. And you will see lots of shorts videos. I can guarantee you that coming in the month of April. About the second week of April, you should see quite a few shorts videos starting to pop off, because I will be flying heavily the second half of April. So that's always fun. I always feel like I get to bring y'all with me on the trips. So good deal. Team Vodka says, I like green things. Me too, man. You and me both. All right, we don't have any ATC online, so we'll set our top altitude of 380. 380 is set. We'll disconnect from external power. Let's start closing up. We are saved as default. Let's start closing up all this. Let's start closing up the doors off, close off. I'm going to manually close it for replays as well. We're going to just shut everything up right now. Boom, boom, boom. That's all closed. I'm going to close the cargo door. You liked the 319 yesterday, dispatch? Awesome, man. I did too. I love flying that little 319 around. I really do. Let's crush that like button early today, so let's get 200 before we even push us from the gate. Ooh, I don't think we've ever done that. 200 likes before pushing from the gate. Oof. We'll see. I'll have to think of something good for takeoff. All right, we'll get our constraint modes on, and the reference, I forget what I said the barrel was. What did I say? I did print it. I did. Come up here. We have 3013. 3013 is set, and it is synced on both sides. So that's good. At Bourbon Air, we don't wait 3 minutes for the APU bleed, so we've got that on right now. External power, we can pull that. Chocks have been removed. We are on VATSIM, believe it or not, so I should put us on Unicom 122.8. Let's go ahead and do uplink to takeoff data request. Let's see what it comes back with. While we wait for that to populate, Mr. Brad's WAG 650 with the V1 status bars coming in with a 20 super chat. Brad Swag, appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you for that. Very kind of you. Very generous. Can't figure out how to gift subs on my phone, but glad to catch a live stream. Hope as well. Brad Swag, I appreciate that support, man. Thank you for that $20 super chat. I didn't have to turn any super chats into 5 a.m. coffees today, but I am on call tomorrow, so who knows? We may have to do that. I may be cashing them in tomorrow morning because it is a weekend. It is a weekend, and I am on call, so I can see it now. A couple senior guys like, yeah, I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. and fly to Cabo. So then guess who gets that phone call at 0300? Yours truly. So appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. We got our uplinked takeoff data. So we have received takeoff data, and we're going to uplink with no, maybe we should flex just to be safe. Now we'll uplink that. No, receive takeoff data, no flex, insert uplink. That's what I wanted to do. 41, 41, 44, flaps 1 up 0.4, engine out is 1380, thrust reduction is 1880 across the board. Okay, that looks good. All right, I'm actually kind of nervous for this whole scenario here, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Cabo traffic, Bourbon 357, pushing straight back, 8 Alpha 14. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. It is in meters, so we don't want to go 100 meters. We need to go... Can I go less than 100 meters? If I hit the ground call here, ground services, pushback, can I do less? Yes, let's do 50 meters. Or 40 meters. We'll do 40 meters, straight back. Do a straight back pushback here in Cabo San Lucas. What are your opinions on X-Plane 13 or 12? Hey, I've said I've had my opinions on X-Plane 12. I personally use this sim now for streams like this where we get to mess with failures, state saving, training, really diving into some abnormal flight control characteristics. But with that said, and that's just because I've been spoiled by the games of Microsoft. Ooh, nice little wing flex right there as far as scenery comes. And I'm not, for X-Plane 12, I'm not going to do the whole ortho thing. I'm waiting for actual devs to release their third-party scenery, such as Orbix when they get their, what do they call that package? Like when they did the California, Oregon, True Earth. When Orbix True Earth starts releasing their stuff, then I'll pick those up indeed, and then it will obviously look much better. But until then, this sim to me is a training tool and obviously a fun tool to mess around with failures in for sure. Oh my goodness, Team Vodka. 28 months. You've been a member for 28 months? Nice, dude. Appreciate the support. It says not green enough yet. Get them well while they're hot. And he just dropped another 20 gifted subs. I don't know what Team Vodka is drinking today. It is a Friday. But it's early. Why do we have... Why are you dinging at me? Dual cooling not available. Interesting. Oh, because the FADEX are unpowered. Watch this. But Team Vodka appreciate the additional 20 gifted subscribers, man. Very generous of you. That's 40 gifted subs today, man. You're on fire. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Appreciate you. Day drinking all day. Yeah, he's on that sauce for sure. Appreciate. Oh my word. Vodka's making food that implies drinking. Oh my God, Mike P. Are you serious right now? This is wild. I'm gonna have to make sure this alert box is paused. Mike P. Oh my God, Mike P. He's gotta one up Vodka. You know, he has to. It's just Mike P doing Mike P things. 50 gifted subs. I mean, I swear, how many is that? That's 2, 4, 6 plus 50, 110. I mean, there's 330 viewers plus whoever was already a member. Absolute insanity. Mike P. The train doesn't stop, says Lauren. Mike P. Dude, my man, I appreciate you. I swear, you must never sleep, dude, because you work these shifts all night, these late night shifts, and then you're on the Discord, and then you're on the stream, and then you're like, yeah, I'm back at work. I'm like, man, Mike P. is he just never sleeps, man. You are absolutely a savage. I appreciate the support, Mike P. Thank you, man. Very kind of you. Guys, get them while they're hot. A bunch of savages in chat today. Exactly, Velociraptor. We're going to go ahead and start too. And I'm actually going to watch this from the inside just because we have so many failures on. I probably should have done that with the first one to make sure we don't hot start. So let's monitor this engine start up here. Make sure you enable gifting and able to be able to receive one. Yes, exactly. Good point there. So you have to enable gifting on your YouTube channel as well. Click on See Perks to see the things you can do now. There you go. Looks like number 2's coming up nicely. No abnormals on the start. That sounds like we got a good start there on number 2. We got the Avail light. We'll arm you. We're doing a flaps 1 takeoff. 330 viewers, 168 likes. Oh yeah, we didn't hit with all the support. We didn't even hit the 200 before pushback. We're gonna have to juice that up. I'm gonna need y'all to. I could really go risky. We could do packs off. If we can hit 250 likes before takeoff, I'll run a packs off takeoff, which that could be interesting. We'll go ahead and turn off the APU as well. Whereas right now we're doing a Toga packs on, but that'll be the goal. If we hit 200. What did I say, 200 likes, 220 likes, somewhere around there. If we hit that, we'll do a packs off takeoff. But as of right now, we're doing a packs on. I don't need any additional failures in my life right now, so everything looks good. We got our numbers. Let's put this into auto, put this into the transponder mode. And while it's a very short taxi, so we'll do full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. We were up 0.4 on the trim. We'll set that. That looks good. Done. And that's on the prog page. So typically, something I kind of glaze over, depending on your SOP, and it may be different, but pilot flying, at least what I've seen in our SOPs, will keep the perf page up. Pilot monitoring will keep the flight plan page up. So this is kind of how your McDo should look if maybe you're doing a multi-crew or something. But we'll definitely get terrain on ND for this one. Peter Caruso with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Peter, for that. I feel, is the fuel prediction page supposed to calculate alternate fuel? Peter, yes, it does. And thank you so much for that support. And here in the fuel, I don't have any alternates today. Oh, I do have an alternate of Tucson. So there should be the extra would have your alternate with it as well. So route, final, there should be another thing in here for alternate fuel. Now you can see here it looks like this one is not calculating that. I'm not sure if that is a Thales thing or whatnot, but yes, you will have an alternate selection here. So you could have route reserve, alternate, final, and then extra. And extra is over here on my version of boxes I look at, but there's a Honeywell and Thales, and then there's different software versions within each. So, but thank you for the support. I appreciate you, man. Okay, here we go. Joseph Daniels, thank you for the 4 months of subscription. How common is packs off in real life compared to APU on? In real life, Joseph, for the United States, well, because I know APU usage is much stricter abroad, especially in Europe. Oh, we got a delay takeoff because our tent will hold off on that. We mostly try to do the APU on for takeoff, but if for some reason we can't, then we will do the packs. But yeah, we try to do APU on. We got the new landing lights on here. You need to at least have a departure runway and an alternate to give you a number. Oh, really? Okay, all right, I see Merkin over there. Let's go ahead and cut across, and we'll taxi to 34 via Alpha, Cabo traffic, Bourbon 357, taxi 34 via Alpha, Cabo. Thank you for that, one. That's so good. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. All right, let's go ahead and get out here on Alpha.
Cabo traffic, American 537, taxi runway 34 by Alpha.
Was that a speed bib?
Cabo traffic, American 295, taxiing runway 34 by Alpha.
I'll definitely try it during cruise, Lauren, for sure. Mr. Beck, where can I find information on how to handle failures? I've been saying this earlier. I think the Airbus is a great airplane to practice failures with, even if you're not classically trained on it, because of the ECAM. If you follow the ECAM, this will keep you alive. So to increase your confidence in the airplane, throw on some failures. And just remember, follow the ECAM. The ECAM will keep you alive, keep you flying in most scenarios. Cheerio to that speedbird. We have a red coat in chat. All right, so we have to put in at least a runway for the alternate. Interesting. Is that a Thales thing? All right, let me make sure my... I'm going to get my emergency procedures book out right now, so we are ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and do another takeoff check. Takeoff config check is normal, and we'll do a cabin check, and then we shall arm you. All right, there we go. My banner says I'm flying a 738. Yeah, it's just because it doesn't register with FSUIPC on this mode. We are clearly not in a 738. I think we'll make it, though. I have to work on the English accent. Were you ever flying to Cancun back in the day when they had single runway? Yes, I do, multiple times. When they were also changing 1-2 left. I remember, and as of recent history, they were doing that construction on 1-2 left, so it was single ops as well there. I remember building 1-2. I remember then building 1-2 left. I think it was for like 3 years every time I visited until completion and now landing on it. Yeah, and that's pretty cool, David. That is a neat experience for sure. I also remember flying into Cancun when the terminal caught fire. There's like a big grease fire in the terminal. Bourbon Wings Neo livery when? I don't know. I gotta hit up Jungly Sim for that. What bad failure can happen when doing a single-engine taxi? Well, if you're single-engine taxiing correctly on number 1, you should have plenty of redundancies. If you're single-engine taxiing on number 2, you could potentially lose some of your steering, and you could lose your normal braking, depending on how you have the airplane set up. But if you're single-engine taxi on number 1, you have a few more redundancies to protect you. Have you ever flown Bogota to Skibo? Not Bogota directly to Skibo, but I've flown to both of those airports. I was going to do a Colombian flight for this, but then I figured this was a little bit more, gave me a little bit more variety because we have terrain and water, and I didn't just want to, not give myself any chance of survival. So if we have to ditch in the Sea of Cortez, it will at least be survivable. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. Cabo traffic, Bourbon 357, I'm going to depart runway 34, Cabo. All right, let's do it, light it up.
Cabo traffic, American 537, lining up behind the Diversion. Runway 34, Cabo traffic.
Side bets on rejected takeoff? Yeah, we got to be ready for that, don't we, Hal? Come on, baby. Well, uphill right here. Oh, I overshot that one, I think. I haven't been flying enough X-plane. I can't do my flyby lineups. We're going to give ourselves all available runway, though, just in case. I think we're going to be a little bit cockeyed to the left. Yeah. Wasn't terrible, though. All right, are you guys ready? How many likes did we hit? 236. You guys are awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and do a PAX off takeoff. What else could go wrong, huh? PAX 1, PAX 2 is off. Let's get those yogas in chat. We're going to spool them up 50. We're a little bit off center, but we'll get it corrected here as soon as we get rolling. Are you guys ready for this? Let's do exterior view. Yoga's in chat. Let's go. Alright, let's get on center line. We might have to reject. Toga SRS nav. Auto thrust is blue. That status icon on the EKM is for our packs. Here we go. 80 knots thrust at 100 knots check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Flyby. Oh, that was a runway flyby. I hit the wrong button. That's pretty cool, though. That was pretty cool. We're well below the flight director, though. Let's go ahead and get back on it. We're Toga, SRS. We're climbing up. We got one more flyby, then we got to do our acceleration. All right, let's get back on it. There's a lever climb. Let's go ahead and bring it on back. There's MCT. There's our positive trend. There it is. Thrust climb, climb, nav. We'll go ahead and go pack 1. Start the chrono. Should have also started that one as well. Thrust climb, auto thrust. And there's about 15 seconds. We'll go pack 2. Here comes S-speed, flaps 0 after takeoff checklist. Captain Tom, good to see you, man. Another flyby here. Flyby sounds are pretty darn good. It's going to take us out over some terrain there. Let's go ahead and go Bourbon 357, proceed direct to Tamet. Direct to Tamet for Bourbon 357. In the turn. Go ahead and check our condition. Looks good there, just because we had our packs off. Want to make sure that they did indeed pick up the load. Let's go ahead and get on the flight director here in the turn. Some nice terrain out there. I should be doing this at night. That would really spice it up. V1, is the flyby studying for you? Is that the stream? Was it studying for you guys? Oh, you know what it's not for me, but I see in OBS it's struggling with X-plane. Let me try something. Let me do this. Now let me see if it stutters. Yeah, I see that. Interesting. That is that might be an X-plane thing. I'm not sure what that's all about. I see that stutter there in OBS. Very interesting. There's 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and turn our lights off. Let them know we're at a 10. We'll go ahead and go autopilot 1 as well. Help relieve the load here. Let's do a secondary. I'm going to stand by on copying that, because there's really nowhere else to go right now. So I'm going to leave that progress page. We're going to put in Sky Harbor right there. Done. 617. We'll put on Delta operations on COM 2 just in case we have to do some meowing. That's done. 22.8 for Unicom. We're 11.6380. After takeoff checklist is complete. What do we have a status message for? What now? SIDS 2. Alright, well there's our first failure. That's a SIDS 2. I'm not sure what that's all about. So let me go ahead and dig into the COM already. I'm going to bring... Is it too loud for you guys? Let me lower the sound just a little bit. We'll do that. So we have a SIDS 2 fault. That's interesting. I think that's just going to be a crew awareness. SIDS 2. Crew awareness. If we lose 1 and 2, that means it's a total loss of SIDS. SIDS is the cabin interfacing something system. Cabin service interphone and passenger signs are inoperative if we lose both of them, but just SIDS 2 is in op. So that's really just a crew awareness. There's nothing else to be concerned about there, so we'll go ahead and press on. At that point, we'd come down here and like, well, we're definitely going to need maintenance in Phoenix, so you'd come in here, you'd pull up your ATSU or your call menu. I don't think we can send any messages to anybody, but you would send a message to dispatch and the maintenance, depending on how your airline had it set up. We can physically message maintenance control from the McDouey on our fleet, which is pretty neat. So, and I think that's pretty standard throughout operators here where I am. I don't know how it is across the globe, obviously, but we definitely send them a message that, hey, we're going to need maintenance down there in Phoenix. So that's the first thing. There's nothing crazy going on there. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. We're about to go through standard, about 17.5. It's actually 18.5 down here, but that's right. We'll set standards STDs for you, me, and the jump seater. 1, 2, 3 is set. Put the airport key on. I'm going to zoom out my range here. So Mike Lima Papa is, what is Mike Lima Papa? I don't even know. I'm going to go routes. No. Airports. We don't need that anymore. Actually, we'll leave that in there just in case. And then let's go back home. Let's go to map. Let's see where we are. We can safely blame the stuttering on SIDS 2. Yes. Oh, wow. Navigraph low in route charts. Let's do that. What is that? Is that traffic? Will this load up? Here, let's see what Navigraph low in route charts look like. Oh, wow. That looks very similar to what I was showing you guys on my actual iPad. Remember that? All right, there we go. So we're going direct TAMIT. That's kind of what I would have up in on my iPad here doing this real life. Let's go ahead and increase our cost index speed. What are we climbing out at here? 20? Those are rookie numbers. Let's do 88 here. I'll juice it up a little bit. There we go. Jason, good to see you, man. What's your feeling when you compare toliss with Phoenix? They're different airports. They're completely different right now. You got a CEO in Microsoft, and you got a brand new 320 Neo in X-Plane. So you can't really compare them. And I'll probably have a better answer after a day's stream, depending on what kind of failures we get. Now, what's ironic, or not ironic, but what's interesting, and if you want to check it out, so we did. Oh boy, here we go. Never mind. Fuel quantity indicator, CH2 fault. All right, master caution, clear the caution. FQI2, FQI channel 2 fault. All right, fuel, clear status. Can I recall that? I can. All right, so let's look this one up. That's just me recalling it. We got another message here. Let's pull this one up. I haven't seen this one before. Fuel. This is really good. This is good. This is such a good training tool, I swear, because I'm looking up stuff that I've never even looked up before. It's fuel FQI. There it is. Channel 2 fault. Okay, so here is the book. Channel 1 or Channel 2 fault is crew awareness. If 1 and 2 fail, we can refer to the system reset table. Okay, but just Channel 2, we're okay. We still have Channel 1, I assume, so it's basically a crew awareness message. We'll continue on going. Let me look up that procedure, though, just in case. I haven't, because that's one I have not seen before. System reset. System reset table. And that would be under fuel. I want to know how to reset it, just in case we lose another one. System reset. On the ground or in flight, pull the circuit breaker, channel 1, channel 2, mic 27 on the 120 UPU page. Is that up top here? Let's look. This is some good. Oh, so this is not the circuit breaker panel. Where is Mike? We need to find JKLM27. Here you got FQI channel 2 fault. Uh-oh, what else is happening? All right, electric TR1 fault. Clear the caution. TR1. Clear electric. Clear electric. Okay, so we got to look at that one now. TR1. TR1. That's just the transformer rectifier. Electric TR1 or 2 fault. Crew awareness. We will lose Cat 3 or Cat 3 single. Cat 3 dual is no longer applicable. Is that noted here? So that would be noted here. If I recall that. So we have fuel and we have electric TR1 fault. There's nothing we can do. According to my book, though, with a TR1 out, transformer rectifier TR1 or 2 is inoperative. Now, it says Cat 3 dual, but it doesn't tell me which one would trigger that. So maybe if TR2 was inop, then we would be Cat 3 dual. It depends on the failure. So my book, it shows it's either 1 or 2 fault, and you can either have this or that. But there's really nothing else we can do to change that. That just means we're Cat 3 single at the worst case scenario. But everything else looks fine. We'll continue on climbing out. Now, I'm curious. We did see that Mike 27 fuel channel 2. Let me pull that breaker and reset it. I'm just curious. Look at that. It actually reset the fuel FQI channel 2 fault. That's pretty cool. So in my procedures, we don't need to commence the reset in flight unless you lose both of them. However, on ground, it says you can try to reset channel 2, and I did it in flight. Obviously, it doesn't really change anything for us, but the fact is I reset that breaker here with the toliss just to see if it would reset that fault, and sure enough, it did. So, I mean, you guys are wondering, well, what are you getting when you buy the toliss? What are you getting for it? And, I mean, I'm not trying to sell you on any airplane. I think my job is to show you an airplane, and it's your job or it's your decision on whether or not you're going to pick up something or buy something, whatever it may be, not just an airplane, the scenery or what have you. But as we're going through this ECAM and these procedures, you can see that there's obviously more than what meets the eye when you're flying your toliss around. That is really cool that FQI reset. Are you looking at Airbus manual? I'm looking at my company-specific abnormals. So basically, if any of this happened in real flight, I'm doing exactly what I would do in real life. So far, so good. We're continuing out. Nothing has been crazy. It's just we've got some gremlins. Typically, I've seen this happen on airplanes, most commonly 319s, believe it or not, especially the older ones. But we just refer to it as, man, this airplane's got some gremlins in it. I don't know what it is. It's technology, right? Maybe something during an updated software, or there's been some type of, who knows what happened. They change components on these airplanes all the times, and these weird bugs just sometimes happen. We refer to those as gremlins. And this airplane, I would be looking at my FO right now and be like, man, this airplane sure has some gremlins in it, doesn't it? Like, yeah, it sure does. All right, well, let's keep on going. I would also have my brain thinking, okay, since we do have all these quote-unquote gremlins, we're about to go over the Sea of Cortez. What do I got for alternate airports around here? Just, always thinking ahead of the game, right? There's really not a lot. That's the problem. Mike Lima Papa is right down there. If I go data closest airports, Mike Lima Papa, I like the look of that airport. I do. Let's pull up the tablet here. And this is what I would do in real life. So I'd be like, well, what's Mike Lima Papa? I don't think I've ever been there. Let me see what it is. Do we have charts for it? What's the airport look like? I don't know. I'm about to go over the Sea of Cortez. Can I even come back and land here? Didn't want that one. Airport parking spot. There we go. So Mike Lima Papa is Marquez de Leon. Oh, it's got an 8,000 foot strip. Looks like it has gates. So is it optimum? No, but can we land on an 8,000 foot piece of pavement? Hell yeah, we can. All right. I've got that in the back of my mind. Let's keep on trucking. We got a Gremlin airplane. As we go up here, what else do we got? We got Mike Delta Alpha. What's that airport? I mean, and this is what you do. Guys ask all the time, what do you do in cruise? Do you ever get bored? All right, well, yeah, of course you get bored sometimes, but I'm also trying to stay ahead. What was it, Mike Lima Delta? This is what you do. That's not what I was looking for. What was the airport map? Mike Delta Alpha. This is what I would be doing, Mike Delta Alpha, so no airports found. So we don't have charge for that one. Can't go there. All right, let's keep on trucking. Oh, great. What do we got now? Brakes, system 1 fault. Okay, now this is going to be interesting. Clear the caution, acknowledge ECAM brakes, system 1 fault. Clear brakes. In-op systems, SIDS 2, brake system 1. All right, clear status. Brake system 1, let's look that one up. Now we're starting to get into some interesting scenario. Brakes. System 1. Brake system 1 or 2. Crew awareness. Brake system 1 or 2 is inoperative. Failure of one of the BSCU channels. So we don't need no stinking brakes. Brake system 1 is out. Now, out of my own curiosity, that's the end of procedure. We would keep on trucking. There's still plenty of redundancies on the Airbus. Let's keep on going. But out of my own curiosity, there used to be a system reset for brakes. So I'm gonna look it up here. I'm gonna see if I can find one. But I have to look for, I gotta be careful. I gotta look for the Neo. I'm pretty sure this was one of the system resets that they took out, because when the Neos came about, there was actually some problems with the Neo aircraft with the same reset that we used on our classics. So you have to be careful. And when I pull out, I can't really show you my proprietary information that I'm using in real life here. But when I look up these procedures, I have to go through 3 separate. We've got classic, then we have Neo, and then you have the different engine types, and then also have to look up, there's some different variations within each. So like for the Neos, for the classics, for example, there are airframes with different mods, such as different fuel tank layouts and stuff. So I have to make sure I'm looking at the right procedures. So I'm looking at Neo procedures now. I don't know if there is a brake system reset in here anymore. I think they took it out, but I'm scanning. I am scanning for that right now, because I think we used to recycle the gear lever on final if this happened. But then that became, okay, here we go. Brake system 1-2 fault. In flight, when landing gear is up only, select anti-skid nose wheel steering off and then back on. If required, rearm the auto brake. When landing gear is down, reset not authorized. Okay, so gear is up. Let's go ahead and try it. Nose wheel steering, anti-skid off. Okay. And then back on. Clear the caution. And it's still there. So it did not reset the fault. We saw brake system 1 fault. So we'll clear that. Clear brakes. So that is a hard fault. It did not reset. I would also have to record that BSCU reset in the logbook, and that logbook write-up would be attempted in-flight reset of BSCU 1, in-flight reset not successful. So we have a failure of the BSCU 1 that we've already tried the reset, we can't do it. So that's that special note. Do not do it when the gear is down. Interesting. So on ground, there's a whole nother slew of procedures that we can do, including pulling circuit breakers, which we're not on the ground. We're not going to do that in flight. 37 for 38, 1 to go. Check. All right, we're going to continue on. We sure got the gremlins today. Starting to get spicy. Swiss cheese is aligning. Chow183 says, I'm curious how often you have to deal with small failures in real life. Honestly, it's I can't even put a name to it, or I can't put anything to it, man, because it is so random. I swear, some days you get in an airplane and it's just, you have kind of what we got going on here. You've got a gremlin airplane. You got a ton of stupid things going on. Like little reset stuff, little TR stuff. And then there's other days where you go a whole day with nothing wrong. So, okay, here we go. Now we got another one. Flight control FCDC1 fault. FCDC1 fault? I'd be lying to you guys if I've seen this one before. I have not. Let's look this one up. FCDC. ACDC. All right, flight control FCDC. Electric redundancy downgraded. Failure of Sec 1 or Sec 2 of an elevator control. Maintenance action is due. Crew awareness. Okay, so that's a spicy one. I don't like the sound of that. Elevator redundancy downgraded. Let's clear that. FCDC1, clear that. Let's look at the flight control page. Everything is normal, but we lost a redundancy there. Flight control redundancy degraded. Maintenance action is due. So that means, hey, no joke. Let's go ahead and let maintenance know. We're leveling off at 38. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off while we can here. About to level. 80 Mach. I don't know if there's any reset with that. I'm not even going to mess with that. But I'm curious if there is a reset in that. I can't tell you how good of a training tool this is right now. If you are going to be flying the Airbus and you just want to learn how to run your ECAMs and look faults up in your company manuals, I cannot tell you how good of a tool this is right now. What was that? FCDC flight control. I don't think there's a reset. I wouldn't imagine there is, but I'm looking. Auto flights. Tyler Berg, welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Alerts are turned off. Oh no, I missed a C2A as well. And I missed a Mike P. Mike P, $3 bank angle check. I'm sorry, Mike P, it's your own fault. I'm sorry, not sorry, man. Just kidding. It's your own fault from the 50 gifted massive subdo. No, I had to pause the alert box. I appreciate the support, my friend. $3 bank angle check says, how many of these minor problems continue to happen before you think about landing? Mike P, as of right now, I wouldn't be thinking about landing because nothing is really affecting the airplane and its ability to get us to the destination. Now, if these start compounding, then you'll see it play out in real time. But as of right now, as crazy as this may sound to you guys, we would keep on trucking here. There's no reason to divert. There's no reason to be alarmed. Make a PA. There is no reason to worry, and then just hang up the PA. So everybody stay calm. But thank you, Mike P. I appreciate it. And C2A, oh man, I didn't get the bank angle check in time for this one. Sorry, man. It's another $3 bank angle check. Appreciate you. I got to read it real quick before we crash here. I have a feeling this is going to be like Airplane 2. Did anybody check to see if Sony Bono has boarded the plane? Oh well, we're all out of coffee. It seems like Team Vodka Mike P picked the wrong week to quit drinking. C2A, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate you, man. Very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, they definitely picked the wrong week to quit drinking. I don't think Mike P or Team Vodka ever quit drinking, though. All right, clear the caution. Flight control Sec 3 fault. Sec 3 off, then on. Uh-oh. Did not reset. All right, clear status. Let me recall that one. Clear that. I was just bringing them up. Clear status. Oh, it did reset. Okay, good. That little delay on Sec 3, that reset, that's scary, realistically good. I like that delay. I pushed that button. It didn't reset right away, but no, it actually did reset. So we had a successful reset of Sec 3. That's the spoiler elevator control computer. So we're looking good there. We have reset. Now I would start thinking to myself, what the hell is going on with this airplane? So let's come through here. Let's do another systems check. Wait, what? Okay, I'm checking it's like your vitals, right? Let's check our vitals. I got all kinds of weird stuff happening. Well, let's go ahead and go through the vitals of the aircraft. We know our TR is out. Everything is fine. Plenty of hydraulic fluid. We got our fuel is fine. Everything else is fine. Flight controls are fine. So the hydraulics, your vital signs are fine. Our vitals are fine. We got a lot of funky stuff going on, but it is what it is. Where are we on the map? I think we're about to cross over Loreto. Is there an airport there? Takes a while to load. Mike P and Team Vodka must have done the last maintenance. That's exactly what it is. That's what it is, C28. Mike P and Team Vodka were doing the overnight maintenance. All right, so Laredo's an international airport down there. That's Mike, Lima Tango. Let's continue with real world scenario here. I would probably be like, well, let me look up that airport, Mike, Lima Tango. And this is something that I do a lot, especially when you start flying over areas that you're unfamiliar with. So for me in particular, we start going South America, start going deep south. You start going into places like Lima, Medellin, anywhere in Colombia down there. Like, these are areas where I'm not super familiar with what's around. So as I fly over these airports, I like to look them up on my iPad to see what is the validity of an emergency diversion. This one's getting a little bit shorter, 7,200 foot strip there, but hey, it's a piece of pavement. It says it's an international airport. I would imagine they have some type of services, any types of approach we could do. They have a couple approaches, so that's a good option as well. I'm going to leave Mike Lima Tango up there as an option. Let's go back to our map page and just kind of keep following along with our route of flight today. I like the TCAS on there. That's pretty cool. Niels Christensen, top of climb. So far, so good. Since we're still going, I might grab another 35 months. Niels Christensen, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. 35 months of support. Absolutely fantastic. That's very, very kind of you. Here's to another 35 months, my friend. I'm going to finish the rest of my coffee. Oh, my word. Mike P, thank you for another gifted sub. Who was it? Will H was gifted by Mike P. Too kind of you. And then, right on cue, Team Vodka. Hey, I don't know what's happening with Team Vodka and Mike P. They were in the Discord. They were in the members-only Discord there for a minute. Something, they must be on something. Whatever they're passing it around, I'm going to need to get in on some of that. Team Vodka dropping another 20 gifted, oh my god, another 20 gifted subs. You're absolutely an animal. Thank you, Team Vodka. Appreciate that. We're going to run out of viewers. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're running out of viewers for gifted memberships. Team Vodka, appreciate you. Puff pass. And then Mike P again. This is very generous of you guys. Thank you so much. Mike P with another gifted sub. If you're not a sub now, I mean, shoot, at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Mike P. we're gonna have to go back. I gotta look at, I think there's a stat for this. I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. Where is my 152 new members this stream? 152 new members. Mike P and Team Vodka carrying the torches of the V1 channel. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. 407 people watching. Yes, indeed. Smash down that like button if you haven't already. We're at 298 likes. You guys are awesome. Can we get 320 likes? We're in a 320 Neo. Can we get 320 likes? Let's get some likes in here for Team Vodka and Mike P, gifting the subs out, spreading the love around. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Appreciate you. Very, very kind of y'all. Thank you. All right, let's look at our fuel. I thought for a second we might have had a fuel leak. We're 9.5 already, but no, we took off with 11,000, right? So let me just double check my fuel, do a quick cross check of our fuel so I can see fuel used 3,800 pounds. Let's just call that 4,000 plus 9. That would be 13. So yeah, we're around. We're fine. We have tracked our fuel. We're not leaking fuel. I thought for a minute we might have had a fuel leak there. It's Kyle. It's Kyle dropping 10 gifted subs as well. It's Kyle. My man. Some truly, truly generous people here, Rain Man. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. It's Kyle. Kyle's getting into the fight as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the support. It's Kyle. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. All right, we're about to hit Lima Tango Oscar, and then from there we're going. We're going feet wet there over the Cortez, over Sea of Cortez. So this is something we're going to look at. What I'm going to do now, and this is a real world scenario. So see Mike, Golf Mike over there, and if I bring up terrain on ND, This should be all blue in between here. I don't know if it's going to load it or not, though. If I zoom it down, it will. So you see how we're about to go over the water here? Now, this is something, on this distance, it's not crazy important. It's a relatively short distance, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can modify something here. Let's go equitime point. And this was our equitime point between Cabo and Phoenix. I'm going to change that now. This is Mike Mike Lima Tango down there. Is that what we said? So let's put Mike Mike Lima Tango right there. And then let's put Mike Mike Golf Mike, which is over here. And we're going to put that on the second spot because I want to know if it really goes down between these two waypoints. I want to know, do I need to continue towards Mike Mike Golf Mike, or do I need to turn around towards Mike Mike Lima Tango, because I don't want to be drifting down into the ocean, into no man's land if I can help it. Now, with 38,000 feet, the distances between here, we would have plenty of drift down, depending on the failure, to hopefully get on either side of this. But this is something that I would definitely do. You've seen me if you remember. Maybe if you're an old member, you've probably seen before on shorts videos that I showed ETP modification in real life, going over a much longer distance, over waters, like out over the East Coast, and then over the Gulf of Mexico, where you have a little bit more distance as well. But the same applies. I still want to know where I need to go here. So until I hit this ETP, I'm thinking about making a turn 180 back around. But we've got our ETP modified for now. We're still level at 380. Everything is looking good here. We'll settle in as we get ready to go. Let's do a flyby view. Is it still choppy for you? And oh my goodness, we get back to... Yeah, I don't know why that flyby view is so choppy. That's an OBS thing. It's definitely an OBS thing. Mike. AJ Funari, thank you so much, man. He's getting into the action as well. 10 gifted subs from AJ Funari. Appreciate that. Very kind of you, sir. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Dershefton? Man, sorry if I mispronounced that. Coming in with a $10 or a €10 super chat. Thank you so much. Here, take this and invest in some maintenance. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you. Yes, we are definitely going to need to invest in maintenance. We have a slew of issues happening, and so far it hasn't been super crazy, but we're only 31 minutes into our flight, and we have over, I don't know how many miles we have to go? 487 miles to go. So we've only gone less than a quarter of the way, and we have been working the ECAM the entire climb, so it's only going to get better. Hopefully we can survive this whole flight. Thank you so much. I will definitely invest in the maintenance, and I'm going to specifically request that we don't send it to the Mike P Team Vodka maintenance hangar, because whatever they were doing to this airplane last night, it's not working out well for us here in the flight over the Sea of Cortez. But thank you, man. Appreciate the support. Flight Force 77. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. 10 gifted subs from Flight Force 77. Getting back in on the action, Flight Force. Appreciate you, man. Flight Force, thank you for that very kind donation. I was thinking, we have a second stream today. My all-time favorite childhood livery, well, it's near and dear. It's the childhood livery from the old school America West, pre-merger, all the good stuff. The old school America West livery came out last night. We're going to be back in the Phoenix BM World AM Sim Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. I hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate the support. Thank you for that. David Aguado had a bank angle check come in there. I have the alerts muted because it's just getting insane. We're getting more members and more donos to the channel than we are failures. That's just pretty cool. Oh my goodness. David Aguado, thank you for the $10 bank angle check, my friend. Just because you said Medellin, my wife is from there and I go there all the time. A beautiful place. Medellin, David Aguado, I love it as well. So I say Medellin, that's probably just the American way. Is it Medellin? Because I've heard, when I fly down there, they say Medellin. It is a beautiful place, David. Thank you for the support. Bank angle check right back at you. And yes, indeed, I do enjoy going down there. Matter of fact, it's one of my favorite places to fly into, believe it or not. There's a lot of guys that kind of hesitate flying into Medellin, but as long as you're on top of it and you know what to expect, it's not really a big deal at all flying down there. And it is, like you said, a truly beautiful place. Thank you for the support. Fubar has also gifted 5 subs. You guys are insane. I mean, I'm so gonna miss you guys here when we go into the month of darkness coming up. I'm really gonna miss you guys. Fubar, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships to the channel. There's no non-members left. There is no non-members left, indeed. This is insane. Thank you so much, Fubar. Appreciate you. And then we have another gifted sub, 10 gifted subs from Siabonga UF Jolly. Thank you, man. Total savages in chat. I agree, Flight Sim guy. Man, everybody is green. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you for the support. Can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for that 10 gifted subs, sir. Appreciate it, Jolly. Alina Zane, thank you for the continued support of 10 months. Just finished my 2nd flight lesson ever. Alina Zane, that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you guys that is phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. I hope you continue to share that and post some pictures in the Discord. We got a lot of people that are going through flight training every now and then, and they'll post pictures. And I love seeing the real world stories from the viewers in chat, from a YouTube channel, to actual seeing real life flight training. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that. So someone asked, did we have any failures? Let's see what we've had so far. SIDS 2, TRU 1, RNP 3 is out apparently. I didn't even check that yet. Landing gear BSCU 1, flight control FADEC 1, fire protection SDCU 1 fails. So we have had quite the slew of failures happening. And RNP3 has definitely failed. If you look up here on the overhead, be like, oh, that's interesting. We don't have our lights on up here. And we sure don't. RNP3 has failed. So, but here we are. We're hitting our ETP. So now, as soon as I hit this ETP, I'm going to be really thinking, okay, Mike, Golf Mike, that's going to be my bug out airport. So we're going to go toggle tablet, Mike, Golf Mike. Let's load that in. I'm going to get rid of these airports because now I'm only focused on one airport now. That's Mike, Golf Mike. If something should happen, that's Jose Maria Yanez International Airport. Let's pull out the airport diagram. Hopefully we can land there. I think we can, right? Yeah, 7,700 foot airport. Got a terminal building. They'll have fire protection and all that. So that is our bug out airport right now. So if anything happens, we're going to continue on because we are over great white shark breeding ground, and it is extremely loud out there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Cosmic doubloon. There are still, he said there are still grays in chat. Unacceptable. Cosmic 50 gifted subscribers. This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable. 50 gifted subs. Cosmic Doubloon, thank you, man. Thank you for dropping that in. This has got to be an all-time gifted membership record. It is. It is 100% a record. It is. He's definitely balling. Cosmic, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude, for the support. I don't even know what else to say. And then he just popped another 20 in chat. So 70. It must be Payday Friday, Tyson. Payday Friday. Payday Friday it is. I think Cosmic just got paid today. I think everyone's getting paid today. That's what's happening with Payday Friday. And then 5 more. So he gifted 75 memberships to the channel. What an absolute legend. If you're trying to get there's no 75 gift option, so that's how he gets around it. He says, Cosmic, appreciate you, man. Someone got an actual tax return back. Exactly. Yeah, or he got that retro pay. Maybe he got that retro pay. Indeed. Cosmic, you are incredible. Thank you for the support, man. Is this happening? Is this real life? I'm just going to have to shut off both engine masters in flight. This is unbelievable. I can't even keep up with it. I've never seen a chat like this. I've never seen a chat like I can't even. Niels Christensen, thank you. I have to scroll back and select the name. Niels Christensen, thank you for the sub. Team Vodka dropped another 20 subs. Jolly dropped another 20 subs. DeGuado87 dropped 5 more subs. This is unbelievable. If we're gonna die, we might as well be members. I tell you what, we might as well, man. Listen. If we don't have any more crazy stuff happen, we're just gonna pull both master switches to idle, or we're gonna put them to the idle cutoff position. Once we get over a suitable landing spot. But this is unreal. Thank you guys. I can't even, if you're sending a message in chat, it's just gifted. This is actually awesome. I know, Dylan. Thank you so much. Who's this? Who said? Daniel M. said, thank you for the $10, man. I appreciate $10 super chat. Keep them failures coming, Airbus. I'm right there with you, Daniel M. Thank you. It looks like it's kind of quieted down here. I don't know what's going on here. We need more failures. Come on. Come on. We can start inducing some here if it doesn't get worse, but we're knocking it out of the park with the failure, with the ECAM handling. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. Would you recommend X-Plane 12? I would 100% recommend X-Plane 12, especially if you want to get proficient at handling an Airbus abnormals. Absolutely. But that's all. Everybody's mileage varies when it comes to the sim that they want to fly. No doubt about it. It's Kyle with the 10 gifted subs. Dustin with 5 gifted subs. Money stops failures. It might be. Honestly, you know what? There's been so many gifted subs that YouTube is like, well, I think we're gonna just we're gonna keep him flying now. This is it's unbelievable. Let me see. Let me check the stat on this. I have to check the stats here. Where is the activity stat? 338 new members. 338 new members. 338. It's unbelievable. There's only 400 people watching. John Cobb, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man, for the month of Nordo. There you go. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate that $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Definitely insane. If one of the engine fails in the next 5 minutes, I'm getting 150 subs. Oh, man. This is mad. This is absolutely mad. Thank you, guys. I at this point, I can't even keep up. If you have gifted and supported the channel monetarily, I can't even thank you enough. Thank you. Aviation Blaze dropped in 10 more. Now we start replacing ECAM with chat landing all green. Aviation Spotter, we might have to. We might have to indeed. I was going to turn on the alert box, but I can't. We're just going to keep it muted. Did we run out of failures for the toliss? Bring me more failures. We'll let it go another minute or so here. Aviation Blaze, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. And it's Kyle, another 10 gifted subs. Bourbon 357 Direct M Dono. We're not going to Dallas tonight, Iron Man. But I'll tell you what, because of that, we'll go Direct Dumbo. How's that? A Direct Dumbo. We're on the move. Direct Dumbo, Bourbon 357. Thank you, Iron Man. Mike P dropped a $20 bank angle check, and he says, least toxic community on YouTube. Mike P, honestly, I don't think I can argue with you on that one. This is, it's just all green. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Mike P, for the support. Team Vodka, Payday Friday. There's our emergency landing spot right there. It is. We'll do it. Zach B, direct to the bank. Metar gift. Oh my gosh. But thank you, Mike P. I appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. And when everyone's subbed, no one will be. Maybe we'll just have to, that second stream might just have to be members only. I think we'll do that. Members only chat on the second one. I wonder if I resave it, if it will give me more. Let's see. We'll work through an engine relight. If we don't get one here, we'll work through an engine relight. We'll see if we can do that. Brings a new meaning to landing all green. Dude, this stream is members only. It is true. That is true. Members only stream. This is a, that you're absolutely right. This is a members only stream. Unbelievable. We're going to let it go to we'll go one more minute. We'll go 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We'll try an in-flight relight. We'll try to work through a real in-flight relight here. Team Vodka, I got them all the way maxed out, dude. 1,000. But I wonder if it only gives you so many at a time, you know? There is no spot to add a new one. Oh, you see that? All right, so let's go ahead and delete RMP. I can't add another fault. Let's go ahead and delete SIDS. Look, I ran out of add new faults. That's what it is. No one cares about TRU. Let's go ahead and delete that. That's coming back on. There's our cabin interface system. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. We'll leave the BSCU one on there. I'm going to leave that one on because that one actually could potentially snowball. Shout out to Ox Airlines. We need a sticker for that. Chat all green. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll make a. We need to get a chat all green. Do you think it was off the screen, Laura? Maybe, but I tried resizing it. You know. All right, let's see if we can do one here. Let's see. Let's do engine 1. Fail recoverable. Let's do it. What the hell? Recoverable engine failure. We're flying along. Uh-oh. Engine 1 rollback. Auto flight, auto thrust limited. Okay. Clear the caution. Lever MCT. Engine 1 fail. All right, we're going to select green dot. And we need to offset. So let's go ahead and set. We need to offset at least 5 degrees here. So we are about 3.5. Let's go 350. Heading. And then we need to continue on here. So we should have a recoverable ECAM here. So Mach selected. We're MCT thrust. Let's just, yeah, we are in MCT. Why are we? There we go. Now it's coming MCT. 1 MCT. And then we are going to select our drift down. So we're going to go prog, E out, recommended 250. So I'm going to select 250. Now it shouldn't go idle, so it's MCT, so it should stay in MCT. Oh, auto thrust disconnect, that's me. Shoot, that's part of the memory item. MCT. There we go. So we're gonna have MCT thrust. Now that's gonna cost us some altitude. So we're gonna drift down at MCT. We're getting all our failures back. Oh, number 1 just came back. It literally auto relit. It actually auto relit. Okay. Well, let's go back up to 3.8. Thrust climb, open climb. Go to the climb detent, re-engage auto thrust. Thrust climb, open climb, auto thrust. Rebuild our automation here. Direct to Dumbo, insert, back to nav. We're thrust climb, open climb, nav. Going direct Dumbo. Reset that. It also reset our other failures. Brake system 1, we know about that. Auto flight, auto thrust. We disconnected both of those. And we're coming back to 38. So it actually relit, which is pretty cool. So I selected a fail recoverable, which what happens is when this rolls back, the ignition will auto start firing. And because we still had enough speed, it obviously relit on its own. So the procedure, and which I kind of fumbled up there, is you need to select green dot, select your new drift down altitude, which in that case about 250, disconnect the auto thrust and set MCT. So basically what happens is, if you think about the logic of the airplane here, if we're in MCT thrust on the operating engine, that's max continuous thrust, okay? If I select open descent with max continuous thrust, it's really gonna shallow out that descent rate, right? That's why it's called a drift down. So it'll drift down typically around that 500 to 1,000 foot per minute. I'm not sure what this airplane is. I think the Neo is right around 500 feet per minute, drifting down with MCT on the operating engine. So that gives you plenty of time to do your procedures and do your relights. So maybe what we should do here is do an actual failure, and then we'll try to go in single engine, because I'm going to try that. While I was in the middle of doing that, there's been some more Fireflyer, welcome to Private Pilot, and Swapnesh Snaggle with 50 more subs. Unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for another massive $50 or 50 gifted sub to the channel. Unbelievable Swapnesh Snaggle. Appreciate it. And there are 50 more viewers getting their green back. That is absolutely awesome. Unbelievable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're struggling to get to 38. Let's climb back up to 38. So what I want to do now... Oh, we're at 38. We're struggling to get back to our cruise altitude. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to fail an engine, a non-recoverable. Since we seem to have broke it, let's delete that. Let's add new fault. And we're going to go in single engine for real. So we're going to do we're going to do engine 1. And we're going to do a fail. Well, why don't we do oil pressure? And let's do it at time in about 60 seconds. All right. So in about 60 seconds or so, we should have a failure of the oil pressure, and that might, I'm curious to see if that's going to lead us to an in-flight shutdown. So let's just say we're hunky-dory here. We're enjoying all of our gifted subs. It's been absolutely fantastic. Scott, oh my goodness, Scott, I didn't see that because the alert box was muted, is muted, because it's just been absolutely insane. But Scott dropped a $100 bank angle check, man. Thank you so much, Scott. U-Haul, bourbon, gas, new V1 headquarters, and a little token of appreciation. Scott, very kind of you, sir. Thank you for a massive $100 bank angle check. Very kind of you. Yes, that's going right to the U-Haul bourbon and gas. That's going to be a lot of gas. I got to tow my truck out on Monday morning, 1 a.m. I got a 15-hour tow coming up again, the third time. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate that. And indeed, we'll be looking for that new V1 HQ, my friend. So appreciate the support, dude. All right, so we're flying along here. Nothing's happening. We're actually probably thinking about getting ready to go into Phoenix. I'll be heads down. We'll get an ATIS. Let's go ahead and get a destination, a weather. I don't need you. I guess I keep it all, right? Let's do METAR for those. Your head's down here. You're waiting for your received messages. We know this airplane's busted up. We'll print the latest and greatest from Phoenix. Phoenix Sky Harbor, 270 at 13, goes 22. Wow. It could be spicy. I kind of want to see what happens here. Where is our oil pressure? So, look at that. It's actually dropping. Now, 94 is still pretty... Oh, it's slowly degrading, though. That's an interesting one. So an oil pressure low with green indications elsewhere would most likely indicate a gauge failure, because if you're not over temping and your engine is running fine, even if your oil pressure is coming down, like, it doesn't make sense, right? You can't have both. If your oil pressure is going down and your oil temp is going through the roof, that makes sense, right? Less oil, less pressure, meaning you can't keep the engine cool, higher temps. But if everything else is in the green, but your oil pressure gauge is going down, that is the signal of a possibility of a gauge failure. It's kind of a weird one. Are compressor stalls modeled? I don't believe so. Let me see what else we got. Engine 1, hot start, start fail, pressure, hot EGT. Ooh, we'll do that as well. I want to wait for that. I want to see if we get an actual ECAM here, though. So it's amber. So I'm going to do 60 seconds from now as well. So this is actually going to be, this is it. So you're up here, we do our checks. Oh, hey, Cap, look at that. We've got low oil pressure. Now this is one of those most puzzling scenarios you can be in, because you're looking at your engine, it's totally fine, EGTs are fine, N2s, fuel flows, oil quantity is showing normal, but the pressure is showing amber in 64, 60, and it's dropping. Like, well, here we go. Now we got actual ECAM. Clear the caution. Engine 1 low oil pressure. Thrust lever 1 idle. Engine 1 master off. Now this is where you would actually be like, hold the phone. Do we need to do this? Because look, everything else is normal here. Our quantity is normal. Our temperatures are normal. Why would I shut off an operating engine? So in this case, I'll clear engine 1 oil low pressure. And now I'm going to look up my COM, because there could be something in there about this. And then when I do that, now I see, engine 1 EGT over limit. Thrust lever 1 below limit. All right, so we're going to bring it to idle. That's the first thing we're going to do. Now we should have more stuff there in the status, I believe. Let's go ahead and pull it back up. Let's look at our engine page now. So we've got an engine at idle now. We've got a lever asymmetry. That's normal. So we're going to need to start looking now. This is where you really need two people here. So let me pull up that oil low pressure. Engine 1 oil low pressure. Amber or red? It's red. So engine 1 oil low pressure red. Oil pressure is below the upper red threshold, and the upper amber threshold varies with N2 and increases from 65 at idle to 176 at high thrust. Thrust lever affected engine idle. Engine master affected engine off. Associated engine 1-2 shutdown procedure. If oil pressure is indicated red only on engine ST page without engine oil low pressure red warning, flight crew may continue normal engine operation while monitoring other parameters. So that's huge. If oil pressure is indicated red only on engine SD page without the engine oil low pressure red warning, which we didn't get initially, flight crew may continue normal operation. But once we got the actual ECAM, now that no longer applies, and we have to do the engine 1 shutdown checklist. So let's go ahead, engine 1 shutdown. Max Rank, thank you for the $10 super chat, dude. Appreciate you. What you've created, the community is simply fantastic. Thank you so much for everything. Beers on me next time you're in St. Louis. Hey, I'm gonna specifically pick up a bunch of St. Louis trips, man, just for that. Appreciate you, Max. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, dude. I'm trying to rush through this here. I got to get to my engine 1 shutdown for the Neos. Okay, engine 1 shutdown. So engine master. All right, land ASAP. No, that's not us. Oh, that's a 1-2 shutdown. All right, so just like before, we're going to set up a lower altitude, center Bourbon 357, request flight level 300 to get us started. We're going to be working through a problem here. Bourbon 357, roger, descend and maintain flight level 300. I don't have my distinctive disconnect bound, so we're going to disconnect the auto thrust. I'm going to select MCT thrust on the operating engine. I'm going to select green dot, which is right about there. And we are in an open descent at MCT thrust. So it's going to shallow out this dive down to 250. That auto flight, auto thrust, that's me. We'll clear that. Now let's continue working through. We have to go to our shutdown procedure here, because we're basically shutting down an operating engine. Engine shutdown. Jeez, shutdown. Oh, what now? Fuel FQI channel 1 fault. We've already looked at that. We'll clear that. Power plant. All right, here we go. Engine 1 shutdown. We got to find the NEO operation. This is why you really need to have 2 people up here. All right, land ASAP. So at this point, that means whenever you get a land ASAP, that means, hey, this is going to be an emergency scenario. So that's one of the first things it says in the procedure. So we would declare an emergency. It's, we'd probably be on with, I don't know if we'd be on with Albuquerque yet or Tucson, but Center Bourbon 357 declaring an emergency. We'd like to set up a diversion to probably Tucson. That's going to be our closest one, right? Bourbon 357, roger, fly, present heading, descend and maintain, flight level 300, copy your emergency. When able, I need your fuel and souls on board. Bourbon 357, roger, stand by. All right, so that's what one pilot doing. The other pilot's over here doing the comms. So if electric emergency configuration, no, it does not apply. If wing anti-ice on, that does not apply. Engine mode selector ignition. So we're going to put the engine mode selector into the ignition position. If no fuel leak, which we do not have, we haven't suspected one yet, imbalance monitor. TCAS mode select TA. We're going to put our TCAS in TA only. That way, if we have we don't want to get an RA as we're single engine. Look at our drift down, guys. This is what I was talking about. You have time. If you lose an engine at cruise, you've got time. Look at this. MCT thrust. We're only doing 500 or 600 feet per minute here as we're drifting down to 300. So you've got time. If reverse unlocked, it does not apply. If engine fire push button, that does not apply. Engine 1-2 shutdown continued. We're going to have secondary failures, hydraulic, electric, and air bleed. In some conditions, with full asymmetric power, the aircraft may be control limited before reaching protection system limit. Therefore, in extreme conditions where low speed may be advantageous, jip whiz, wind shear, reduce speed with care below VLS and respect the minimum control speed. Flight crew should not select the gear down too early, as large amounts of power will be required to maintain level flight at high weights and or high altitude airports. We are going into Phoenix, Tucson area. Hopefully we'll go to Tucson instead of Phoenix. So it's not too much of an issue, but we got to be careful of that. All right, that does not apply. So here we go. Engine 1 master. Oh, I should pull up my tiller cam. So we're already at idle. This is an in-flight shutdown. Confirm engine 1, confirm. Shutdown. Engine 1 shutdown. If no fuel link, balance monitor, check. All right. Now, what just happened with the electrical? We just went down to 1 generator. Generator 2 is operating. We're not on battery power, but we're on generator power. So before we lose that by any chance, oh shit. Never mind. I have control. All engines failure. Optimum relight. Here we go. Speed 280, 77 Mach. I'm going to go flight director off. We just lost it all. That was not planned. That was the abnormal failures coming in. All right. All engine failures. Optimum relight 287.7. All right. FAC 1 off then on. FAC 1. Off, then on. I'm going to try to get reset FAC 1. I'm going to keep drifting down here. Gliding distance, 2 nautical miles, 1,000 feet. Diversion, initiate. All engine fail procedure, apply. We're in alternate law. Oh, you think? Okay. So I'm going to bring this back to idle. That is in ignition start. And we have the rad out, and we're on emergency generation power. We cannot start the AP. Now hold on, I'm going to pause this real quick. I normally don't pause this, but this is something that can really kill you. So, number 1, we've just lost both generators. You heard me on cue. I was like, hey, I'm going to start the APU. We still have generator 1 operating. Right when I hit the master switch, generator 2 fell offline. You are now on emergency electrical power with the rat and your batteries only. You now have a new starter limitation for your APU. If you go to start the APU at 35,000 feet with batteries, guess what's going to happen? You're going to torch your batteries, you're going to core lock the APU, and you're going to be a dead stick and you're going to crash. You cannot immediately start the APU. You have to follow your procedures. We have a battery start altitude limitation depending on the APU that you have in your airplane. This particular one is be about flight level 250 before we can attempt a battery start on the APU. Now, you're like, oh, solely this, solely that. The reason it worked for Solely is because he was low level. He was, what, less than 3,000 feet when he started the APU? So he lost both generators. I'm starting the APU. That's a fantastic thing to do, and it actually saved them. Well, it helped save them, right? But if you do that at 35,000 feet, you are in a world of hurt. The most important thing on the Airbus that you need to protect is your electrical power. And if you torch your batteries by trying to do a battery start at 35,000 feet, you've just kissed your own butt goodbye and you're going to be a dead stick all the way to the ground. So just wanted to get that out there. And while it's paused, I'm going to save myself here. I need to get the dual engine relight procedure out because I can't do all of this by myself. Dual engine. I need a dual or all, what is it? The all engine fail. I don't even, this is one that you would think would be on a card. All engines failure. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to unpause it so we kind of get back to realism. I'm going to pitch down. We're in direct law here. I don't want to stall it, so let's just go ahead and keep on trickling down. Where are we going? I want to go towards Tucson. We're just going to keep going straight ahead. I'm going to come a little bit left. Now I'm going to try to read and do this here. All engine failure ECAM alert inhibits the electric emergency ECAM, provides a flight crew with associated procedures to immediately apply. Wow, why do I got this crazy roll here? I can't read this and fly at the same time. All engine failure procedures, both automatic extension of the rat and automatic correction of emergency generator. Then all engines failure ECAM procedure specifies that the flight crew must apply the all engines failure to land ASAP, emergency electric power, man push button press. So up here, emergency power, press, which it's already on. Okay. Emergency electric manpower push button on, press. Select the emergency manpower on the rat to enable both extension and emergency generator contact connection. Optimum relight speed, 280 or 77 Mach. So we need to go ahead and pitch down, 280, 77. In the case of a speed indication failure due to volcanic ash, that does not apply. For CEOs, does not apply. APU below 250 start. So below 250 start. Right now, I'm trying to get an optimum relight here of 280. I'm going to push down, and I got to try to do an air relight here. But once we hit 250, we're going to restart it. All right, to do the start procedures, the thrust lever is at idle. Gliding distance, 2 nautical miles, 1,000 feet. Now we should, I think it'd be a little bit easier to get 280 knots here. I'm doing 4,000 feet a minute down. I'm curious. Let's go ahead and bring that back. That's going to go in there. I'm trying to get more speed here. We're almost at 260. It's trying. It's motoring down there. Nothing. There's 280 knots. All right, now let's watch that. Let's bring it back. I think number one is coming back. We're 280. Here comes flight level 250. So at the same time I'm at 250, now we can do a battery start on the APU. I'm going to get that cranking. We're still pointing towards Tucson. Look at this. I think we're getting number one back. Come on, baby. Here it comes. We're back in normal law. Maintaining 280 knots. There's engine avail. Let's go ahead and bring it in. Where am I going to bring it? I'm going to bring it right into MCT. Beautiful. Cabin pressure, excess cabin out, crew oxygen mask on. Can we do that? No. Oh yeah, there we go. Cabin, there we go. Descent initiate, signs. Like on. Wow, they do a good job of simulating the goggles there, that's for sure. Signs on. Descent ATC has been notified if cabin altitude is greater than 14,000 feet. Passenger mask on. So look at the pressurization. We're at 12.6. It's not there. So we'll go ahead and clear cabin pressure. We're going through our in-op systems. EGT over limit. Thrust. Oh, we have, it's over EGT. That's fine, but there's nothing we can do. We've only got one engine here. I'm going to see if we can restart number 2 with the cross bleed here. Since we got engine 1, but it's a high EGT. We got bleed pressure. Will it turn? Let's see if we can turn 2 here on the reset. So clear engine 1 EGT. We need it. Engine 2 fail. We're already going through the relight procedure right now. Better to have high EGT than no engines. You're absolutely right. Come on, baby. It wants to. It wants to start. We got both igniters, A and B. I don't think it's going to start. I don't think it's going to start. No relight after 30 seconds, which I don't see it. It's actually just coming. Well, we'll leave it. We'll go a few more seconds. At the same time, we need to figure out a diversion to Tucson. So let's do this. Flight plan. New destination. KTUS. Boom. Insert. Tucson. Arrival. I want to land on the ILS 11 left. That's fine. Insert. Let's just go direct to Tucson right now. We could probably get autopilot 1 on. We can. We're navin'. All right. We've got no engine 2. Let's go ahead and continue our descent down to 180. We're going to go open descent. We're going to get auto thrust back on. Auto thrust, thrust idle, open descent. It wants lever MCT, but what we need to do is keep it in idle right now because we need to get down. We actually need to descend now. We don't want to be too high. Engine 2 after 30 seconds, no relight. That's 30 seconds for me. Engine 2 master off. Engine 2 fire, push button off. That's it. We're done. Confirm engine 2 fire, push button, confirm. Pushed. Engine 2 is going down. After 7 seconds, we're going to discharge. You can see here, it looks like our EGTs are cooling down here as we go thrust idle. So I know it's flashing MCT, but you also have to remember where your position is in space. We're at 20,000 feet. We're only 60 miles from the airport, so I need to come down. Agent 1 discharge. Confirm. Discharge. Done. All right, if no damage, engine 2 relight considered does not apply. We tried that. Engine 2 shutdown. If no fuel leak and balance monitor, cross bleed, shut. Cross bleed is now shut. Clear engine 2 shutdown, clear engine 2. Hydraulic, yellow, reservoir, low level, PTU off. Oh, great. PTU off. Now we got a hydraulic leak. Yellow engine 2 pump off. Yellow engine 2 pump is off. Hydraulic, yellow reservoir, low quantity, clear hydraulic. Fuel FQI channel 1, clear fuel. Brakes, Sista 1, clear brakes. Auto flight, auto thrust, limited thrust levers move. Clear auto flight, clear. Clear the caution. I need to select the speed. I'm going to go speed initiative here. I'm going to select 250 knots. It needs us to move that, Roger. I'll put you in the MCT for now. I'm going to take over control here momentarily. We're thrust idle 250 down to 11,000 feet. Cabin altitude is still climbing. As soon as it reaches 14, which it's going to reach, we're going to go crew supply masks manual on. Let's go ahead and drop them. They're going to manually deploy. Okay, so land ACP rat out. We have all kinds of stuff. We no longer need to continue the all engines failure checklist. At this point, we need to get the airplane on the ground. So, Tucson, let's go ahead and we're chugging away here at this, right? So 3011. Let's get that in there. Temperature is 18, and the winds are 270 at 13. Oh, geez. Gusting. Oh, no, Tucson. I'm looking at the wrong one. Tucson is 310 at 12. So that's going to go there. All right, speed's coming back up. We're 18,000. We don't want to get too low because there's a lot of terrain over here. If I lose this engine, I'm trying to balance out how much. Oh, see, now we got over limit. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to go manual thrust. I don't have my thrust button disconnected. That's on me. So I'm going to do manual thrust here. I'm going to try to, can I get it back? I'm trying to protect this engine and try to keep that EGT down. All right, we're going to have to change runways. We're not going to land 1-1. We're going to flip that around. We'll do RNAV 3. Direct to the final. What does Tucson look like even? I don't even know what Tucson looks like. Airport search Tucson. KTUS. Can we even land on 3? I just want to see the airport, and we're going to do a visual approach. It's plenty visual down there. We can land on... I want to land 2-9. I don't care if we got a crosswind. I want to land 2-9. That's the closest one. 2-9 right. The Yankee. Insert. Insert. Oh, we got to select heading track first. Direct to Toga. Insert. Now we're navving. Direct Saxy for 2-9 right. Let's do it. Let's descend down 10,000. Open descent. I'm going to keep the thrust lever where it is. I'm going to try to maintain green dot. Listen, the whole point of this is to get us on the ground. So we're going to do the 2-9 approach. So I got to come back to Tucson. Come back, approach. ILS 2-9 right, Yankee. Or I'm sorry, RNAV 2-9 right, Yankee. I don't really care about the minimums. What is a Toga is a mandatory at 5,000. We have high terrain at 6,000 right there. So I'm going to select 7,000. To keep me above that terrain, but I'm going to a Toga right now. Let's see, what is Saxy's altitude? Saxy, the final approach fix is at 4. Let's just say if it was at 5, we're at 17, so that's 12, 24, 36 miles in a 3-to-1. So we're actually just about on it. We're at a 3-to-1 path here with the thrust lever that I have set, the thrust lever position. We're keeping our EGTs low, but we're not at MCT, we're not at idle. We got a nice 3-degree descent here, nice and slow. And you got to balance out the descent rate with the terrain around there as well. One thing we really don't need to care about, but the meter was 3011. ATC would be giving us that. 3011 is set. All right. Nope, I don't have the flight director on right now. I could. I'm in FPA mode. So I'm in FPA navin. I'm using the bird to keep our 3 degrees on because I'm really gauging this here. I don't want to bomb down here and get low and then lose number 1 and then be in the terrain. So I'd rather be a little bit high and have to get down than be too low and not have enough speed. All right, let's continue with this. As far as the status page, what checklist can we run? Right now, we're only 30 miles from the airport. We've had so much go wrong with our airplane. We're going to have to kind of delegate the task. Let's hit the important things. Min rat speed is 140 knots. Doesn't apply as of right now. And we also have the APU available. So that does not apply. We don't have to worry about staying above 140. We can still land flaps full. Landing distance procedure, we don't have time to complete that right now. We're landing on a pretty long runway. What did we say it was? Tucson 10.9 is 10,900 feet. We can omit the landing distance procedure. Don't have to worry about wing anti-ice. Let's review our in-op systems. Our yellow hydraulic, spoilers 2 and 4, wing anti-ice, Cat 3 dual, nose wheel steering, engine 2 bleed, reverser 2, pack 2, gen 2, yellow engine 2 pump, brake system 1, and the yaw damper all out. Clear status, clear status. Cabin altitude is still coming down. As soon as we get the cabin altitude below 10,000 feet here, we can take our mass off. But we need to go ahead and get this airplane on the ground. 220 just above green dot. We're doing a nice little drift down. Now, let's do another math calculation. We said if we cross Saxy at 5,000 and we do it at 16, that's 11, 22, 33. All right, so let's go ahead and start bringing her down a little bit faster. So how can we bring it down faster? There's a couple things we can do, but we're in open descent. I'm actually going to bring the power back here. I'll bring the N1s down a little bit, and that's going to help increase our descent rate. I've got green just above green dot selected. We're doing 216. We'll make it about 215 here. But look at that. I'll bring the N1s back, and because we're in open descent, that's going to increase our descent rate. We can't declare an emergency because there's no ATC online. But we would definitely be rolling the trucks. Yes, and you want to see a rat, so we kind of have a minute here. There you go. This is what we're dealing with. Our rad is still out, but we're not using it for power because we have our APU on. We waited to 25, and by the grace of God, we were able to do a relight, a windmill relight start on number 1, even though it's got an oil issue, but it's still running. So if we get on the ground safely, I'm going to buy some stock in Pratt & Whitney because right now it's keeping us alive. Now, if we look at our engine page, oil PSI is 0, but everything else is normal. It does get super hot when you increase thrust, so we got to be careful. We don't want to toast it. We got to protect our only engine here. All right, now we're getting in a little bit closer. Let's go ahead and increase that rate of descent. 10.5, that's close enough. Let's go ahead and get rid of the oxygen mass. You would also be talking, obviously, to the flight attendants, and you'd be talking to everybody, multi-crew, but I can't simulate all of that here. There's one pilot. But here, let's go ahead and focus on getting down because we really only have one shot at this. If we have to go around, we're probably going to be out of luck. It'd probably be the end. We only have one shot at this. Minimums 3137. So 2,000 above that would be 5137. So call it 5,200 feet. There's higher elevation here. All right, we're looking good. 14.2, 220 on the speed. We're not going to clear our EO. Our VAP speed is 134. Because of the wind condition and because of the rat, what do we have? 340 at 12 gust, or 310 at 12 gust 17. Let's go config 3. VAP 141. We'll go config 3 on the overhead. All right. Emergency generation, ignition, APU avail, GPS flap 3 is selected. I don't think we even have, we're not going to mess with the auto brakes because of the brake system failure. We have manual brakes. Let's go ahead and keep bringing in let's go ahead and get on down. Let's go idle. We're 20 miles from Saxy. Let's go ahead and get on down. Buckle up because we got one shot, and one shot only to make this. The checklists are away. Let's fly the airplane. I'm going to increase my speed now. See if I can start diving down. Outside air temperature is 1. Oh, man, I don't really want to load up that engine if I can help it. Yeah, here we go. We're out of the clouds. It was just an intermittent. If we were in hard IMC, you would turn on the engine anti-ice here just to protect that operating engine. But it also makes me nervous because of our EGT issue with number 1. But we are truly committed to land, as Spotter said. Yeah, we are committed to land on this one. Our thing is we might be a little bit too high now. instead of configuring the airplane, I'm going to use speed to control my descent rate. Let's get our lights on. We're an emergency aircraft. We can go above 250 knots, below 10 if we need it. I believe SACSI was at like 4,400 is what it's really supposed to be at. 4,400 feet for the final approach point. Believe it or not, we can activate and confirm the approach phase as well. If I could just, is that Tucson there? How far is SACSI from the runway? It's 5 miles to the missed approach. All right, there's Tucson out there. It's not going to look awesome, but that's not what we're here for. All right, 84 to 44, that's 448, 12 miles from SACSI would be 3-degree pass, so we're actually ahead of the game now, so let's go ahead and start slowing down a little bit. Actually, no, we're not. We're still behind a little bit. We're still behind. But I can see the runway. So at this point, if I can see it, I'm actually going to hand fly it. Autopilot's off, flight director's off, I'm visual. I'm going to mash that in because I have control of the speed. So now it's you, me, and the runway. That's all we're caring about right now. You, me, and the runway. Runway's in sight. Right here. That's where we're going. Let's go ahead and go gear down. I'm going to cut it in. Typically you want to wait on that gear till last minute, but we're a little bit on the high side. So we got to judge the energy here of the airplane. There's VFE next. Let's go flaps 1. Now we're going to start coming down. So I'm cutting the corner, which means my track miles are actually going to be less to the runway. And pro tip, if you rock, do a little wing rock, you'll float the spoilers. And we're actually going to go a little bit past. We're going to S-turn around SACSI here. So we're going to go just a little bit past. Get a little spoiler in here. I've got keeping an eye out of my left window. Oh boy, this is going to be, we are high, folks. Come on down. Don't worry about that descent rate. We have to get down. Coming back, S-turn to the left. We're going to go through our 4,000. We'll get the altitude alert. One more S-turn. I think we should be on it. Check. You have to get down. There's no choice here. We have to get down.
100 above.
Check.
500.
Minimum.
400. 300. 200. 100.
Sink rate.
50. 40.
Oh no, this is what you don't want to do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Retard.
Come on.
10.
Get down.
5.
Oh, we're at flaps 2. That's why. We're at flaps 2. Son of a gun. I don't know if that's the only thing we did wrong. I'll take it. Idle reverse. I thought we were at flaps 3. We were at flaps 2. Fixation. Flight attendant stations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Oh my gosh. I don't think the nose wheel hit first, but this was our problem. I was like, why are we floating? What is happening right here? I thought we were in flaps 3. So that's that fixation, task saturation. I saw that we were high. It's like, there is no go around here. We need to get down. And I'm like, we are really floating. Flaps 2. Flaps 3 would have really helped us out there. But at the end of the day, if the FAA is going to write me up for that, we're still down. We're safe. Between all the failures we had, dual engine failure, relight, EGT over temp, I think we are, I think I will take that one to the bank. Let's see what the replay looked like. I don't think the nose hit first, but I had to force it down, no doubt. I definitely had to force it down. But that flaps 2 thing there, right when we came in over the runway, you got that ground effect too. But we were high, so there's two. So 2 really big mistakes on this one. I don't know if you all caught my first one. My first mistake on this entire approach was I was actually looking at Montham, Davis-Montham, DMA Airport. So we're coming in. I'm going to bring it back to right about, where was we? Right about here. So mistake number 1, I was looking at this runway over here, Davis-Montham. I'm like judging my speed and altitude, but then I was like, how are we supposed to be at 4,400 and be at a final approach point? And then I realized, oh, wait a second, we're actually landing over here. So that was mistake number 1. That's when you saw me lower the landing gear. Typically, 1 engine out, especially 2 engine out, landing gear is probably the last thing you're going to drop down. So that was mistake number 1. So I had to remedy that situation, lowered the landing gear. We had to do our S-turns on final to get down for Tucson. Now, could we have just landed Montham? Probably. It's a military base. Would have been just fine. They probably actually have a longer runway. I didn't think about it. However, we still had almost 11,000 feet of runway over here in Tucson. So, mistake number 1, we remedied it. We got her down. Mistake number 2, I got distracted on my flap sequence. I was mentally thinking I had selected flaps 3 when we were only selected flaps 2, and you'll see that here by my speed. I still got S speed out here. So I was ahead of the flaps by 1 mentally, which hurt us when we came over the runway. We got into that ground effect, and it was big time float factor coming down the runway, doing 180 knots or 190 knots, well over speed. But you go around, you're dead. I mean, that engine's cored out. You can't go around. So it's come down at 2,200 feet a minute, land at 190 knots and survive, or just force her down. We'll see if we hit the nose first here. So we get all those ECAMs here. So if you're a passenger, you're definitely watching those. Freedom BW, thank you for the $10 super chat. We did make it, indeed. Let's see how we did here. So here comes our dead stick air. Well, not a dead stick, but here comes our badly damaged airplane. See how flat we are? That's just the tail of how fast we're going. So look, I'm trying to get it down. Now, it just did not want to come down. Like, you see me pushing the nose forward? I don't know if I buy that 100%, but we also were pretty fast. Oh, wait, we're on the ground. Weird. Okay, I was going to say we weren't that high. That's weird. So we touched down, like here? I don't know. That's weird. It's not syncing up with the actual ground. Interesting. I mean, I knew we were high, but we weren't that high. But we definitely floated. Alerts are still muted. Yeah, hold on. What did I miss? Oh boy. Let's see if we actually can we see the touchdown here. So when we see the wheel smoke, that's the pseudo touchdown, right? Right there. So it was almost a three-pointer. You could see that we're touching down on the invisible runway right now, about a three-point landing. And again, that is a huge deal to flap 2. Flap 2 is giving you a lot of extra lift. So that was a no-no. But we survived. I could write a book and maybe retire and then don't have to worry about it from there. What did I miss here in the chat? Kelly Simmer, thank you for the $5 Bank Ego check. On your next check ride, you need to show them the stream and tell them, yeah, I'm good. Bravo, sir. Kelly Simmer, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude. It was wild. I would love to have done that with a multi-crew, like with Phantom or someone, because the amount of ECAMs that we had to go through on this flight was just asinine, let alone fly the airplane. But it was pretty cool when we actually got our in-flight relight of our engine back, and then, you know, it worked pretty good. Everything worked out pretty good. So definitely some X-Plane 12 bugs going on here. But yeah, if you're a passenger and you start seeing these wing rocks here towards low level, that's one thing you don't want to see. No doubt about it. But thank you, Kelly Simmer. I appreciate you. Freedom BW, thank you for that. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any of the monster gifted subs. This whole stream has been absolutely insane. We have 410 new members, so you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for that. I didn't even get to see any of the chat messages for the last, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the stream, but I appreciate you guys. And we're not done for the day. We're going to have a much more relaxed childhood memory stream. Encourage you to join me if you'd like. 4:30 local time here in Texas. I'm going to be doing a Phoenix. Well, we never actually got to Phoenix today. We'll do Phoenix to San Jose, California in one of my all-time favorite liveries from childhood memories. So, what was the failure that got engine 2 swarm? It was a random failure. So we had random failures all the way to max, and I started messing around and increasing the failures manually. I said, hey, let's try this. Let's try that. I made the oil problem on number 1, but then right when I made the oil problem on number 1, we had to shut it down. We shut it down, and then right when we shut down number 1, engine 2 hit random failure. So we had a dual engine fail in flight. We did an in-flight relight with a windmill start. We were on battery power. We diverted. We reset a slew of other nuisance ECAMs. It's been wild. But I definitely need to have some lunch. I need to get some water. I'm going to get some coffee. Guys, I cannot thank you all for the support, the monster amount of memberships gifted to the channel. I can't even go back and name everybody because there were so many of you that have gifted. So thank you so much to each and every single one of you. I hope to see you all here in another 2 hours or so as we hop into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I promise you I will be much more interactive with you guys in the chat. Maybe we can do a little bit of a debrief, kind of reassess what happened on this stream when we fly that one later this evening. So until that stream starts in about another 2 hours, stay safe, stay healthy, get some lunch, replenish your wallets. And until then, I'm V1. See ya.